ENHYPEN has made a comeback. Well, I'll discuss later. It's not technically a comeback, but I would say they're showing signs of comeback. So I think the two major content that has been dropped recently is their brand rebuilding film as well as their new song, Will Be Fine. So today I'm gonna look and analyze those as well as the song. And I also want to share you guys my thoughts about where ENHYPEN will be heading. What's my thought on the new logos as well as the new characters. Yes. Not only from fanboy perspective, but also from Korean musicians perspective. So have you guys already seen the videos of the brand renewal? So that thing came out, I think last week about. And I actually thought this was sort of expected yet well done. As in, by the way, whenever it comes to this topic, I always try to be careful, but I think we could openly admit and talk about ENHYPEN coming back as a 6. Do you guys agree? I just want to clarify on that because I personally want to support both ENHYPEN as well as Evan. So it's also impossible for me to act like nothing happened. Same as ENHYPEN, which I think this is what the whole thing is about. Instead, I think what we have to do is be a little bit more mature, whether as an engine or whether as just, consumer in general, and accept this new 6. And I personally feel like this brand renewal film is the stage of accepting the 6. For copyright reason, I'm not gonna play the full video, but if you take a look at the video, I'll analyze one at a time. They literally endlessly emphasize the number 6. So they roll this dice, and each side of the dice as they roll has number 6 on it. And I think company is explicitly pushing for the number 6. Again, I'm not trying to start a number fight here, but this is just crucial part of their new brand renewal. You know how for BTS the number is 7, for Stray Kids the number is 8. I feel like when it comes to K-pop group, branding and the number is really crucial. So if you want to respect ENHYPEN's new movement, you have to sort of respect and understand their new concept of 6. This makes sense with everybody, right? Alright, and in my opinion, I actually think this event will bond the members even stronger than before. I'm also going to talk about my personal opinions about ENHYPEN members, about how I feel about their relationship with the other members, but I want to save the sensitive talk for later. So first, let's take a look at the brand renewal film. At the end, they show this logo. You know how this was the original ENHYPEN logo that we used to know? And then the hyphen gets bigger and it goes around the ENHYPEN word. When I first saw it on Instagram saying ENHYPEN logo went from this to this. Comment sections were hating on it so bad. They were like, where's the hyphen? This is so ugly. Like even the Korean Instagram, they were saying, the logo is so ugly. Who did this? We're no longer ENHYPEN. Where's the hyphen? I just have to clarify. By the way, this is not my personal interpretation. This is official statement from the company. So it's not that the hyphen is gone. The hyphen is over the ENHYPEN itself. And the main concept that they're trying to push for here is previously, imagine if it was a link. You know how when there's 2 dots and there's a link between the 2? That was the intention of the hyphen in the previous ENHYPEN concept. You guys will know that's like everything ENHYPEN is about. But now their new concept is instead of 1-to-1, we're already together and we are one. We're already merged with each other. And here's the key point. They're going for dimensional upgrade. I actually didn't know about this until I researched a little bit more. When you look at the brand film, it just feels like, like the boys are being handsome, with the random clips here and there. I just didn't think too much about it. Like, okay, handsome face, serve. But what they're saying is they're going from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional, 1-dimensional to 2-dimensional. Not trying to sound like a boring science teacher, but you guys are aware of the dimensions, right? What is 3-dimension? It's the world that we live in. What's 2-dimension? It's plane, right? 1-dimension is line and 0-dimension is dot. And they're going from line to 3-dimension. They're moving dimensions, and this entire brand film is trying to depict this idea of going from a line into a ball, which is 3D. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of metaphors with line that turns into 3D object going beyond hyphen. You see, the idea of pushing that flat surface. When you have a flat surface, what is that? That's a 2D now I'm sounding like a really boring science teacher. But it's a 2D world. A simple, like a square. But then when you push that square, then it becomes 3D. That's what they're doing here. Going from 2D to 3D. And you see how in some of these videos, the objects change depending on the angle that you're looking at. You know what that means? I don't know. I might be literally overanalyzing, but just hear me out. That, in my opinion, symbolizes fourth dimension. I don't know if you guys have ever studied or looked into fourth dimension. Fourth dimension, we are not living in fourth dimension, right? We're not able to perceive fourth dimension. So for three-dimensional creatures like us, fourth dimensional objects change in shape constantly. And that's what they're trying to show here, instead of just trying to show random aesthetic thing. And then, okay, this is the logo that they're talking about. My first impression was, is this like a plague? I didn't get it. What's this new plague looking logo? But then, after understanding the concept, you know the first thing I thought of? Not everybody might have watched the show, but have you guys ever seen or heard about this show called Arcane on Netflix? It's based on League of Legends. It has really good animation. In the show Arcane, there's a character named Victor, and he used a logo very similar to this. So it wasn't a plague. It's idea of dimensional expand. That's what the logo, in my opinion, is going for. It looks sinister. Well, at the same time, ENHYPEN's concept is sinister. So I don't think it goes against that. Yes. So that was just a brief idea of ENHYPEN's new comeback, as well as branding. Now let's get into their song. We'll Be Fine. You know, so this isn't a comeback. I initially thought this was the comeback, but this is simply a Japanese single. But I feel like this is settling the water. As in, I heard that they are making a comeback with the next album, and it's called Bliss. I forgot the exact name for it. Sin Bliss. You know how we had previous discography? If you have been following with ENHYPEN lore, then you would know they're a vampire. They commit sins. Alright, let's take a look at it one at a time. You would know Romance Untold, and then we go to Desire Unleashed. Ow! Okay. And then Sin Vanish. This is where they ran away with their lover. You guys remember how they said Stealer, Knife, Lost Island? They ran away. Sin Vanish. And then now, the new comeback that they're coming back with is called... Let me cheat. I forgot the exact name for it. Okay. It's called The Sin Bliss. Yes, thank you. After finding a lover and running away with the lover, the new lore is that runaway a blessing or a curse? So now that you're with the lover, is this going to torture you, or are you going to be happy? And in my opinion, this actually ties in with Heesung's leaving, as in the new state of ENHYPEN being 6. Is this a blessing or a curse for ENHYPEN themselves? Like, is this the chance for them to bond stronger, or is this a chance that they'll fall apart? Even though it was supposed to be about the girl, I think it kind of fits in with the real life lore as well. Personally, even though it's a sad event of member leaving, I also feel like musicians as well as group, when they have a lore, I genuinely think it makes the musical convincingness much stronger, as well as the members bonding. So what I wanted to mention earlier is I actually felt, okay, this is actually a little bit sensitive. Don't trust my words on this. I've heard people say, this is before Heesung left and all that, okay, that ENHYPEN members are a little bit individualistic with each other. I'm not saying the members hate each other. I'm not saying there's fight between them. But I've heard this idea where, you know, like how introverts, this is not about whether they're good people or bad people. You know, some groups, they are a little bit more personal life is connected versus some groups tend to be a little bit more individualistic. I saw certain comments saying ENHYPEN seems to be a little bit more individualistic, and it was talking about how like that's why Nikki feels a little bit more disconnected. Like it was like this whole talk, and at the time I didn't care too much, you know, like whatever, like what do they know? But then after all of this happened, it kind of made me think maybe what they were feeling might have been sort of true. And I also feel like it might have been because of the way they debuted. You know how sometimes when they go through a tough debut of leaving people behind and surviving, sometimes it makes them a little bit hurt from the experience. So I don't know, I'm literally just making random guesses. Yeah, they weren't trainees together, etc. So I thought maybe this event would bring the members a little bit tighter together, saying, rest of us, we really should keep each other. Yes. But anyway, alright, let's go into the song. The song is actually very plain. I'm not even saying that in a bad sense. It's just a very cute song. But it's more about the intention behind the song. Obviously, the title is We'll Be Fine. And what are they saying we'll be fine to? We'll be fine as in we'll be fine with 6 members. And now they show the characters. They're called ENHYPENs. This is the new mascot character of ENHYPEN. And you know what my first thought was when I saw this? Guys, how do they not have this until now? As in, you know how Stray Kids has Skizu? You know how BTS has BT21? How did group as big as ENHYPEN here's the thing, they're not even recently debuted. Do you guys agree? How did they not have it until now? And then I thought, oh my god, it's actually a good thing that they haven't made it until now. Because imagine if they made the 7 characters and then Heesung left. Then you would have to act like even the character doesn't exist. Because you know how character matched directly to the member. So I actually thought, oh, and apparently I heard this idea where Heesung's character did exist, but it was right around that timing in March, so they ended up deleting that character. But either way, I think it's actually a good timing. This is a good thing for ENHYPEN in terms of timing. I've heard some haters saying that the characters look too plain, too basic. I'll be real honest. I think it's fine as long as they look cute and you could tell which member is which. I don't really think, because, okay, I'm not trying to be a hater, you know? When I first saw Mang from BT21, I was like, what is this hippopotamus looking thing? I couldn't understand the aesthetic. Yo, don't. I'm kidding. You know I love BTS. But I do think they're a little bit more plainer. But I think, like I said, it's fine because you could recognize the members. Yes. So another thing might be, is this a little bit commercial? You know, are they trying to sell the characters too much? And I think it's fine because this is not even like a title song. As in, okay, if they made a comeback and they kind of were explicitly trying to sell the characters in the new title album, maybe it might have been like a little bit, but this is just literally a Japanese single. So, and in fact, who complains about having new character? Not new, like it's like first time ever. Oh, I don't know the names yet. Have you guys already memorized the ENHYPEN's name? I don't know their names. The first thing I saw that I recognized here was Sunwoo. Guys, this has to be Sunwoo's character, right? Just clarify with me. I don't want to get it wrong. No, it is. Guys, you guys scared me. Oh, you're saying no to that you didn't memorize all of the members. You scared me. Because I was thinking, if that isn't, then who is it? Yes. That one is Kishu. I see. But yeah, the song's cute. I like the song. The little animation is super cute. I also generally prefer ENHYPEN's Japanese singles. You know how they previously had... It was a long time ago. Sorry, I'm not really good with the titles, but generally I think their vocal tone fits well with Japanese. And yeah, I think that's about it for the review for today. I just wanted to talk about how they are going to prepare for Sin Bliss and how this, in my opinion, is sort of soft launching and defining their new branding, and we could just wait patiently until they bring us a full album. I actually think ENHYPEN is one of those insanely hustling group. Another one I've been feeling recently is 80s. You know how 80s just made a comeback? Does anyone know exactly when a ENHYPEN comeback's gonna be? Because I feel like it's gonna be within this year, which is crazy. August? That's so soon. That's in 1 month. It's already July, so... I swear these popular groups are releasing album faster than I release my singles. But yeah, I hope all the engines are happy and I hope all the members are doing well. Thank you.